it's time to dish with D. That's me. I've been playing this video all week. I just never had a minute to film. So since I'm up early, don't ask why, that's my day off. So I thought I'd throw this together because this is something I found really interesting and I didn't know a lot about. So maybe if I didn't know a lot about it, maybe you didn't know a lot about it either. So I thought I'd bring you the facts on fats. Fats get a bad rap. They do. The word fat just doesn't sound good, especially if you're trying to lose weight. I don't want anything that with fat in it because I don't want to be fat. So we tell ourselves, but fats are not always the enemy, and they are needed in our daily repertoire of food. They just are. And I went and grabbed a nice little article from the Harvard Health because let me tell you something, I don't know anything about this. So I am just reading from what I found out, which is really quite interesting. So I thought I'd share that with you guys because a lot of us ask questions about fat, and like I said, I'm no expert about anything, but I can print a PDF like nobody's business, and I could read and I could highlight. My husband always tells me, highlight things. I'm thinking, but he's the student, I'm so not the student. So I thought, good work. So just kind of like pull things that you want to read. So none of this is from me. This is all from Harvard. So I thought I'd share it with you. Low fat, no fat, try more fat. Dietary fats are essential for maintaining good overall health, especially at your age. Your body needs a regular intake of fat. A researcher from the Department of Nutrition, I can't pronounce her name and I won't even try. Fat helps give your body energy, protects your organs, supports cell growth, keeps cholesterol and blood levels under control, and helps your body absorb vital nutrients. When you focus too much on cutting out all fats, you can actually deprive your body of what it needs most. That line really kind of, like, what it needs most. Wow. We think we're doing something good, and, honestly, we're probably not. All right, there are two types of fats. To understand the role that fats play in a healthy diet, you have to look closer at the two types of dietary fats, saturated and unsaturated. A third kind of trans fat has been all but eliminated from U.S. foods. That's what they say. I don't know, but that's what she's saying. Let's go with saturated fat. This is called the bad fat. It is primarily found in animal products like beef, pork, high-fat dairy foods like butter, margarine, cream, and cheese. High amounts of saturated fat also are found in many fast processed and baked foods like pizzas, desserts, hamburgers, cookies, and pastries. These fats tend to more solid. Think like butter or lard. Like when they get cold, they get like butter or lard. Unsaturated. These are the good fats. This is the healthy kind of fats that are two types, monounsaturated and polyunsaturated. Monounsaturated fats are found in avocados and peanut butters, nuts like almonds, hazelnuts, cashews, and pecans, and seeds such as pumpkin, sesame, and sunflower seeds. It is also in plant oils such as olive, peanut, safflower, sesame, and canola oil. Polyunsaturated fats include omega-3 fatty acids like omega-6 fatty acids and omega-6 fatty acids. Polyunsaturated fats are found in plant-based oils like soybean, corn, and safflower oils. They're abundant in walnuts, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, and fish like salmon, mackerel, and harina, which I've never heard of harina. Now it's funny, and tuna and trout. I've often said when I cook salmon, how could salmon be 0 points? Because when you cook it, you see all this oil. And I'm like, but now we know why. At least now I know why, because it's like that. The main issue with dietary fats is how they influence cholesterol levels. This is what I found really important. Consuming high amounts of saturated fats produces more LDL, which is bad cholesterol, which can form plaque in arteries and increase your risk of cardiovascular disease and stroke. There's two kinds of, LDL and HDL. Many processed and fast foods made with saturated fat also contain high amounts of calories, which can lead to weight gain and further raise your heart disease risk. In comparison, the unsaturated fats help raise the HDL, the good cholesterol levels. HDL picks up excessive LDL in the blood and moves it to the liver, where it's broken down and discarded. You want to have a high HDL to LDL ratio, and unsaturated fats can help with this. So that makes sense. That's what I never understood. Now I do. Because you got to have a high HDL and a low LDL. That's That's what they want. But researchers have found that it's not enough to eat more healthy fats. You also have to cut out unhealthy saturated fats. A study from Harvard researchers in the March found that consuming monounsaturated fats, especially from nuts and olive oil, can lower a person's risk of heart disease, especially if the healthy fat replaces the saturated fat and refined carbs, which can also raise LDL levels. The researchers added that any benefit from consuming monounsaturated fats may be negative if a person continues to consume too much saturated fat. So basically you should really just not do saturated fat. And also about brain health. Like, there's a lot of benefits about good fats for your brain as well. There's this MIND diet that they follow. Advocates eating more of 10 certain foods and less of 5 others. Among the good ones are healthy fat foods like nuts, fatty fish, and olive oil, while the bad ones are all the ones we really love: butter, cheese, red meats, pastries, and fried and fast foods contain high amounts of saturated fat. So basically, maybe that's why I cut out cheese. And we don't eat a whole lot of red meat, but not enough to worry about. But yeah, that's what they're recommending. That's interesting. The MIND recommends, the MIND way of eating, had a cognitive function equal to that of a person more than 7 years younger. So when they followed that MIND diet of eating those foods and cutting out those other foods, their cognitive function went up to a person 7 years younger than them. Don't we want to think 7 years younger than ourselves? I think I do. The association between healthy fats and healthier brains may be related to inflammation. Diets high in saturated fats appear to raise inflammation, while eating unsaturated fats can dampen the inflammation response. This was also, I found interesting. Don't go nuts for coconut oil. Coconut oil is marketed as a healthy oil, but it is 82% unhealthy saturated fat. And the 2017 American Heart Association said there was no evidence it had any specific health benefits. It might be better than saturated fat from animal sources, but should not be a daily source of your fat. Use it sparingly, if at all. My friend uses it on her skin. The same one you buy to cook in, she just rubs it on her skin. She says, she's got beautiful skin, so if you don't put your coconut oil on your skin, you'll see how beautiful it looks. Okay, focus on quality. How much dietary fat should you eat a day? The most recent dietary guidelines for Americans have moved away from suggesting a specific amount of fat. However, they still emphasize keeping saturated fat intake to less than 10% of total daily calories. She suggests it is easier to focus on quality, not quantity. Add more foods with mono and polyunsaturated fats in your diet and stay clear of those with saturated fats. For example, spread avocado on toast, make a nut butter sandwich for lunch, and add a handful of nuts as an afternoon snack. Buy an oil brush and apply olive oil to your chicken, breast, and vegetables. That's what I do, so maybe that's why my heart's really healthy. So that is a little fun facts on fat. Fat is not always the enemy. It's not. And you have to know which fats you should be eating and which fats you shouldn't be eating. So I hope this helped. I thought it was fun to just dive in a little bit because I think a lot of us don't eat enough fat. Honestly, I think we just totally don't eat any of it. But I think that there's like olive oil. Olive oil is a great source of those omega-3s, and it's just a good oil. And like I said, I'm not sitting there just free pouring it. Yes, I measure it, but yes, I definitely get a few tablespoons in a day. I just do, and that is how I do brush it on my chicken. I put it in a spray bottle and spray it on my veggies. Get a misto. If you don't, I have one linked to my Amazon store. It's a misto sprayer. You pour your olive oil into it and it sprays it, so you could spray things. This way you could use less of it, because if you're afraid to use too much, you could spray it on vegetables, spray it on your pan, or spray it on your fry pan before you cook your chicken or your fish. It's so simple. It's fabulous. Like, you don't have to get extra virgin. You can just get beautiful olive oil. But I mean, I don't cook with extra virgin. That is my oil for salads, and that I put on things. If I'm going to cook, I use just regular olive oil. Extra virgins are too expensive to cook with, and you don't really need it because you don't want to lose that taste. That's what the extra virgin has. It has such a beautiful taste and a beautiful note. So that is what I use on my salads, or anything that I'm put or dip my bread in. It's always extra virgin. So I have both. I'm a hot mess, but that is it. I hope you enjoyed this quick little tutorial on fats. I really loved looking up and researching and learning. I'm going to keep this thing handy and refer to it because I may forget. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope you got something from this video, because that's what it's supposed to be. And remember, fats are not the enemy, and we should definitely incorporate them into our daily diet. Thank you for watching. I hope if you did enjoy this, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, there is a subscribe button. I love to have you part of the Dish with D community. Subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell. Hit that bell. Hit that bell. Let you know when I upload, go live, and do all fun things. You don't want to miss that. And if you haven't already joined my Facebook group, Dish with D's Crew, there's a link in the description box for that as well. I would love to have you as part of my Facebook private group. Come join the Dish with D revolution, because we're making a revolution. We are learning that fats are not bad. Fats are good. Have a great rest of your day, weekend, and I hope you have a wonderful Memorial Day with this, what you're celebrating. Bye-bye, folks.